a good swimmer as well. She is the coordinator of Entrepreneurial Management Program and a community group head in the Covenant Nation Church. Welcome with me with a rounding clap of us, with your hands clapping in the chat room right now, our speaker, Amaka Akitaye.
Good afternoon, everyone. I believe everyone can see me. Hello, everyone. Can somebody respond to me? Yeah, Pastor Mayoko Oreofe. Can someone, okay, yes, ma'am, you can hear me. Thank you very much. I mean, a lot of the introduction has already been done. I'm so glad to be here. Pastor Oreofe, I thank you, so much for giving me this opportunity. And I also want to give glory to God for giving me opportunity to see this day, giving me the privilege to be on this platform to speak, with everyone. I can see like about 300 people, and I really appreciate you all for being here. So I'm going to share my screen, immediately, and we'll get on, what we have to do now. So please, if you can see my screen when I share it, just let me know. Okay. Okay, fantastic. Yes, I believe we can see my screen now. Okay. Yes, fantastic. Thank you for raising your hand. I can see. So we are trying to look at multiple streams of income. And I must say that there is nothing I'm going to say today that is going to be new to everyone or most people on this platform. But like the theme of this summit is reflect. I want us to reflect on the things that we have heard in the past, things we've heard in the present, and then the things I'm going to say, and then it's going to be like a combination or a complementary kind of words that I'm going to give out today. And I believe, God, that every word that I would speak will be inspired by the Holy Spirit, and then it will drop in each and everyone's heart today and yield the right fruit in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, so what are we going to be looking at today? I'm looking at how we could understand multiple streams of income versus passive income, because some people think they are different things, but they mean the same thing. Steps to creating multiple streams of income. Why multiple streams of income is important. Just a question, why multiple streams of income? Sources of passive income, opportunities, pitfalls of multiple streams of income, because there is nothing that it has a merit that does not have demerit. So whatever we want to do, we must always look at both sides. The downside, someone is writing on the screen, you are annotating on the screen. So who should be involved in multiple streams of income? Yes, we need to delve into those areas. Now, multiple streams of income. I hope you guys can see the image I have right here. You have a stream of water. So I'm trying to give you an analogy of what multiple streams of income should look at. So in your mind map, make an image of water streaming. So you can see there are different sections from which water is coming out, but it is going to the same, confluence. So it's going to the same, basin, the same hole, but it's coming from different direction. But so it means that streams of income come to you, and you can see this guy. I could have used a lady, so apologies. So you can see this guy relaxing with a glass, of drink, and he has his computer right in front of him, and you see money spinning behind him. The money is going into this account. He's enjoying himself. He's on a vacation, and money is just coming. He's not really doing so much work, and that is what multiple streams of income will do to you if you are engaged in multiple streams of income. In as much as you would, enjoy, I want everyone to understand that Before you enjoy, you have to pay a price. You have to sacrifice. If you're sacrificing without an objective, then you are just like a one going on a journey, and then you don't have a destination. It's going to hurt you badly. So now another area I want us to look at is, why do we have multiple streams of income? Why do we have that? Why do we have that in place? Multiple streams of income. Number one, retirement plan. A lot of us think that you have to be 60, 70, or 65, the retirement age, before you start planning for your retirement. The answer is no. It's a big no. You have to start now. You have to start right now. In the medical world, they expect that by the time you get to 30, 35 years, you're already getting older. And so you should begin to think about your health, how you're going to boost your health, how you're going to keep your health, good when you are getting older. So the same thing applies to your personal income. You need to start thinking of your retirement plan. You're not waiting until then. For me, I say every time I see myself when I'm in my 60s, I am not depending on my children. I have money of my own. I sit down in my big mansion and I have people serving me, because I am preparing today for what I am going to reap in the future. In life, there is seed time and harvest. So before you get to retirement, you have to plan now. And then planning now has to do with you deciding, how can I get money? A time will come when your legs are feeble, when your eyes are weak, you no longer have the same level of energy you have now. Then, so how would you run around? How would you wake up every morning, go to work, go to office? There must be something that is bringing money into your account without you beating an eyelid. And that is why multiple streams of income, or what we call passive income, is very, very important. Your retirement is very important. Another thing why people do that is because of debt management. A lot of people have amassed so much debt to themselves, and the only way they can come out of it is to get streams of income. But then we make mistake by getting more debt to service debt. That's a murder case as far as I'm concerned. So you need to find something else that will service that debt while you continue with other businesses. So debt management is something very, very important for those who find themselves in debt. You've heard most of the successful, scholars, businessmen, who would say that their bank account went to zero, they were in debt, they had bills to pay, but they had to look for something that they needed to do that would bring them a lasting, income. And that is what they needed to do. And when that money came, they cleared up their debt. You cannot clear your debt if you don't have other sources of income apart from the one you are currently using to service those debts. And that is why before you collect a loan in the bank, they really need to know if you can service the loan. But things go, off the track. Risk management. Now you run businesses. A lot of us are in business, and then the way to manage the risk exposure of your business, just like COVID has, come on a lot of us by surprise. COVID is a risk. Is a risk that there's going to be pandemic. That's a risk we're all supposed to be looking out for. What if it happens? What will I do? And the risk management relates to business continuity plan. So business continuity plan for every business is, what am I going to do if my plan A does not work? What is my plan B? What do I need to do if this business gets to the point of, so it goes, still takes me down to business life cycle. If my business is in development stage, it has gotten to maturity stage, and it gets to, saturation, where everybody is in the industry, everybody is doing the same thing. Like in a few years down the line, event business, everybody was doing it, everybody was cooking, everybody was providing the same service. At a point, it has gotten to the peak where it's beginning to plummet, it's beginning to decline. So the question is, what am I going to do next? How am I going to, support this business so that I don't fizzle out of existence? It is when you come to this point in your business, you are supposed to actually have a business plan before then. So when you come to this point, the plan B. That's a business continuity plan. So, but it goes alongside with your business life cycle. And so when it gets to the point where your business is declining, every business goes through that life cycle. Every human being goes through that life cycle when you are young, when you are an adult, and then when you become old. So it requires different approach when you get to, those phases of your life or the phase of your business. Financial freedom. Everyone is talking about financial freedom, financial freedom. That is what multiple streams of income will do for you. You could see the guy sitting down, he's free. So for those who work from 5 to 9, you no longer work from 5 to 9, you are free financially. That is not just the meaning of financial freedom. You have debts you've incurred, you are totally free from those debts. That is financial freedom. You can go on a vacation whenever you want to go on a vacation. That is financial freedom. You can buy what you want to buy, what you need to buy when you want to buy them, or when you need to buy it. That is financial freedom. Build residual income. So you have residual income, which is very important for your retirement. Your residual income is by the side. You use it for emergency, you use it, you don't really need them, you invest those ones, you invest those residual income, for, other things. Yeah, we're going to go to the next slide. Sources of passive income. I know a lot of people are just eagerly waiting to hear what are the sources of passive income. I've heard a lot of people talk about post-COVID, pre-COVID. Now, I think it's going to be aftermath of COVID. What are we going to do? I feel that COVID, for me, COVID is a blessing. Like my Bible tells me that when men say there is a casting down, I will say that there is a lifting up. For in every disadvantage, I see advantage. And that is what I want people to do. Because if you see God as your source, you must know that there is a time and a season upon the face of the earth. So whatever is going to happen, God is aware of it. And for his own people, his own children that are leveraging on the principles of God, he always has a plan for them. And then the Bible says that every good gift comes from God. And those gifts, they know no sorrow. So if you have the gift of God, you would not find sorrow in it. The first one is interest income. So if for those who are investment banking, you understand that even the normal banking, you can approach your account officer and say, I have 100,000 naira. I want to, or you want to be, contributing 20,000 naira every month. You'll be getting as high as 4% interest on those contributions. So you could do that for 3 months. And when you do that for 3 months, you cash out on the interest and then use it for what you want to use it for, and ploy it in. That is one side of, investment. You have fixed deposits. Although fixed deposits have crashed now because of the situation in the economy or in the world, but I know that in a few months, everything is going to bounce back when, sovereign economies, power economies, governments have come together to resolve the pandemic. I believe that everything is going to come back to normal, and then the interest rates will begin to, increase. And so we would benefit from such assets, such investments. You have investment fund, like I said, the mutual fund, it acts like shares. So you have investment and asset management managing those funds, although most of them have crashed because of share pricing. And also the other aspect which have actually gone into interest income and paper assets almost look alike because you gain interest from them. You can have cooperative societies, joint cooperative societies, and then the investment that the interest income they get from loaning people money is what you can give. So that is just by the side. So that's what you can do by the side to get, income to yourself. Real estate. You invest in real estate, you have income, you have rental income, you receive rental income on a yearly basis. For those who own shops, who invest in shops like I'm in Lagos, so we have Yaba shops, we have different areas you invest, and then you're getting rental income from people who rent it. Even houses, you rent house, you buy house on mortgage, you rent it out when even before you're done with your mortgage, you can actually rent out those apartments, and then you make money from it while your loan is running, and in a few years you finish paying off your mortgage, you own it, and you get rental income. So rental income is something that does not have you would not have issues over it, because people always have to live in those places or rent those outlets or offices, investments. You have people who would have money and then they want to develop people's properties and own it for like a period of 10 years, make money and hand it over to the owner. That's another kind of business that, you know, people can do. I know it's a lot of money to do that, but rental income, buying land, selling it at the end of the day, those are the ways that we can get multiple, you know, income. Now, I remember there was a time I had some spare cash and I saw Adrian Homes. They were doing an advert. You will get a ram, get a turkey, you get oil, I quickly keyed into it. And that period, I bought a big ram to my house and, you know, turkey, oil, bag of rice and all that. And then when I told my husband, I said, I bought a land. He said, really, you did? I'm like, yes. Are you mad that I didn't tell you? He said, no, he's excited because I didn't use the money to buy wig or gold or other, you know, perishable things. I'm not saying that wig is not good. It's good to invest in it. But fortunately for me, I have my natural hair, so I don't need to spend money going to the salon or wearing wig. And so, okay. Then you have the paper assets, shares, TBs. Everybody can access treasury bills. Please meet your account officers. Though treasury bills is down, the interest on treasury bills is down so flat now, but when things get better, you can key into it. Forex trading. Please remember that everything I'm saying, you would have to go through why or who should go into multiple streams of income. Multiple streams of income is not what everybody can handle. So there are pitfalls to it. Forex trade, because there are risks involved. Every investment, there is a risk element. So we must always look at the risk elements of all the investments that I am dishing out right now. You have the Forex trading. Forex trading, people can learn how to trade in Forex. You can give Forex traders to trade. They have so many, you know, Forex trading companies that you have that you can put your money, and then on a monthly basis, they're giving you the returns on the investment. So Forex trading has to do with foreign exchange trade, where it's a platform where you trade on currencies of all over the world. So that industry is worth over 53 trillion, you know, dollars. So it's a huge market. And then you can also play in it by the side. Just invest what you can lose, and that is how risk is managed. Network marketing. A lot of us are in network marketing, and we're already enjoying from network marketing. I can say that there's so many network marketing. I don't want to begin to mention it, but it really works. Some people use it as their own core business. So many people work in the bank, work in different industries, and they are network marketers, and they are making it. They've got houses, they've got cars, but if you are not, it's not, like I said, now all these sources are for everyone. Some people will not do well in it, some people will do well in other areas, but a lot of people will do well in it because if you have marketing skills, networking skills, I can tell you that you will do very well in it. Business ventures, that's what we're saying. A lot of us own business. That is the way to get passive income, but we will delve into business area because most of us are entrepreneurs. How you as an entrepreneur can make multiple streams of income by, you know, having, you know, businesses. So you're looking at new products, you focus on the skills. So a business venture does not necessarily mean producing a product. It doesn't necessarily mean having an office. It could mean you focusing on a skill, you selling your skill, you know, solving a problem. Never go into a business without identifying the product or the problem you are there to solve. Never go into a business without identifying the problem, without saying that I am the solution to this problem and I have brought a solution for this problem. And that is the business that you're bringing. No matter what it is, every business should be a solution to an existing problem or a problem that you're seeing that is going to crystallize, you know, in the immediate term. Intellectual property income. You have trainings, talk. You talk, you make money from talking. It's your brain. You make money from teaching people. You post it online. Blogging gives you money. You know, going on YouTube gives you money. You're selling an idea. You're selling an information. You can write. You can for photographers. You can post your pictures, go to, you know, Stockholms, Stutter Shocks, on Splash. There's so many of them where you can send your pictures and then they buy it and pay you, you know, for those are things. There's nothing about taking a picture and posting it. You sell all those things. There's money in it. Your intellectual property, you write. As an author, it's an intellectual property. And being an author doesn't mean that you're going to do it full time. It could be your side gig. And that your side gig is almost like getting multiple streams of income. Internet marketing, freelancing. So a lot of people at this time, are you computer savvy? You can consider going into digital marketing. I mean, digital marketing, I do it on my own. I post on my blog on my own, on my Instagram. I use a lot of, you know, solutions and apps to do all these things. And you can actually take that, because that is the new era. That is the new norm, that if you are not, you know, tech savvy, I mean, you won't be able to function well in the society that we are in right now, or that is being created. So if you take that as your own skill and begin to learn, begin to work on it, I can tell you that in the next few months, you would come out to be good at what you're doing. Look at those industries. Now, I want us to look at opportunities that are in the sectors. There are different sectors, and I am looking at the 4 major sectors and what is happening right now. And then we need to key into it as much as we can. A lot of people are keying into it, but it depends on you. There are so many things. It's not just saying it. It's about, you know, we doing it. So looking at this, you know, chart here, we have all sectors. We have the oil sector. Sorry, that is supposed to be oil, not non-oil sectors. So this is the oil sector, and it gave us about 9.5% in the first quarter of 2020. We know that oil sector has dropped. The price per barrel has dropped. So many countries, the other oil, Saudi Arabia is actually producing and forcing. US is producing, and Nigeria, we're actually playing at the small level. And so overall, the oil sector has dropped badly. So it's not a sector that you want to go into right now. In the life cycle, the trail of the life cycle, oil is actually at the decline stage. I mean, nobody should go into that sector when the business is at the decline stage. It's a bad time. I mean, that's a murder case if you have to go into that industry, except for those who have been playing in that industry. Another one is services. So services has the major part. What does it tell me? It means that this sector is matured. They're already in maturity area. So many people are doing this thing. So many people are there. So it's mature. They will be experiencing price war. People are trying to cut down price so that they can compete. So there's high competition in this industry. If you don't have the balls, it shouldn't be an industry that you should go into now if you are not already in the industry, because those that are in the industry are trying to stay above the water. So it's not the time for us to go into this industry. And so many of them, consulting, education, they are all in the service industry, medical, hospitals, pharmaceuticals, they are all in this industry. And we'll look at one key industry that, you know, so you have industries. So industries are likened to be the manufacturing industry. So those are like in the core production, textile industry, you know, whatever you manufacture, whatever industry, plastic, printing industry, all those industries that are under manufacturing, that are manufacturing one thing or the other under the, you know, industry. And it's a growing sector. So it's a sector that is growing. I know that there are so many, you know, there are so many issues in this sector because manufacturing requires you to work with machines. It requires you to have power supply. We all know that power supply is a big issue in Nigeria and in Africa as a whole, but it's a sector that you can play. A lot of people are doing it. A lot of people are making it in that industry. So if they can make it, why can't we make it in the industry? So another industry that I'm looking at, which is very dear to my heart, which I encourage people to go in, is in the agriculture. Agriculture is divided into so many parts. You have the crop production, You have the livestock, farming. You have the agro processing farming, and then you have, the aspect of, exportation, which I have greatly clamored against for Africa to start exporting our products out there. We export those raw materials and we export it at a very cheap rate, at peanuts prices. They manufacture it, they send it to us at a very high cost, and then increasing inflation, increasing the prices of our goods and services, and dropping our currency. And that is why our currency keeps on depreciating over and over the years, because of there is no balance of trade based on our currency. And so I would say that for the crop production, some people have lands in the village. Some people have lands in Lagos. Some people have, lands that they have bought and is there. Don't you know that you can plant cocoa? Cocoa can take like 3 years for the hybrid. You can plant, coconuts. You can plant plantain. You can plant banana. You can use some parts to plant some of it. So half of it, you can use it to plant, fast-growing crops, watermelon, tomato, and a lot of them. That land also can be used as a poultry. It can be used as livestock farming, piggery, a lot of all those things, snail farming. Now you need to understand that in agriculture, you can never go wrong. Let me give you an instance. If you have a poultry, do you know that you can integrate backward and forward with poultry? So what I mean by backward integration is already you are in the middle if you have a livestock farming. But if you have a farm, you can actually use the waste. You can gather waste and then make it as manure that you can put in your farm. So that's going backward again. And then you can gather wasted food that you can mix with palm kernel and things like that, and they will form as feed for the livestock. So you can just bring your value chain inwards. And after the livestock you have, I'm using poultry for example, you can have an outlet, a visible outlet where you can sell your product. So now what you're doing is that you're bringing your consumers closer to you, your end consumer. You're not only selling to those people who would go and sell to the retailers, you are selling directly to the consumer. So look at an outlet where you have your products, your livestock being cleaned, packaged, like when you go to ShopRite. I'm in Lagos, so I can see ShopRite abroad. That's what they do overseas. And you package it yourself, you sell it even at a higher price. So you're making money instead of selling the live, poultry to people who would go and sell it off. You go forward. So that means you're going forward. So that's forward integration. You package it, and then with time you can look at making chicken fillets. Chicken fillet is on a high demand. Like for me, I buy it all the time. And then you can make a lot of things. You can make mincemeat. There's so many things that you can make from it. And so that is the total process. So you find out that none of your, you don't lose on both. So it's a locked in chain. So you lock up your suppliers, your consumers, you lock them inside. But this is a process that takes time, but you have to have it in your business plan and gradually building it. Farming is another thing. You farm, you get the produce. Now, I've been to Mile 12. Long time ago, like over 20 years. And I could see that even after buying tomatoes, you come back the next day, you see pile of tomatoes that are bad and rotten. That is because we don't have storage in Nigeria. But the storage is as a result of power supply. Let's turn the table around. Can't we get those tomatoes? Can't we plant tomatoes and turn them into tomato paste? We buy tomato paste from Ghana by the next door. We import tomato paste from China. And they are not giving us the right tomato paste, but we have them in Nigeria. We can give ourselves the good tomato paste that tastes like tomato paste. We can change the packaging, because I know those things have impact on the quality of the tomato inside. This is a real life scenario that I'm giving us. So you can improvise and think of, can I use pack? Can I use pack, something like paper pack that has a filling inside and package it for people to buy. You see, these are investments that the government, because the average Nigerian is African is below the age of 25. So, and so Nigeria is a growing population. Why do we think that there's anything that comes into the country it sells? Because the population is big, the market is big. You cannot alone serve the market, and that is the method that Dangote is using. He's going into different industries because he's able to play in it. He has seen that there's a problem, and then he's playing in those industries. So agriculture is, so this is part of, packaging, processing is the agro processing. I've seen a lot of people who are going into, see, baby foods are being produced in Nigeria. People are doing, so you have to see a problem. I once told a client that produces tea and a healthy teas, and I'm like, don't you know that a lot of people want to take this tea, but because it's not sweet and they don't want to take sugar? Have you thought of using dates? Have you thought of producing? You have a farm. Why don't you plant dates there? And then, or first of all, you buy dates from the people who can sell raw material, begin to produce it. I, for one, I use dates to bake my cake. I bake like I'm a baker. So don't say, Amaka, you know how to do everything. And it's the gift of God, because God is the giver of all things, So I use dates to bake my cake because I want to eat something healthy. And I asked him that question, and he said, yes, that's a good idea. I can make dates. So we make date syrup, and it's very nice. It's just put a little preservative. We can even make date powder. And because dates last for long. So have you thought of that? There's so many things we can do. It's just that we are either afraid to do that, or we are thinking of, oh, how are we going to do it? Or we're waiting for someone to tell us, do it or don't do it. Like I always say, you don't wait for people to give you, and I've heard a lot of people talk about it. Don't wait for anybody to validate your desires, your goals, your dreams. Nobody will validate it. Nobody will help you to start your dream. If you don't wake up from your dream, nobody wakes you up. Have you ever seen you when you're dreaming, like normal dream, you're dreaming in the night, and then someone comes to wake you up and say, get up from your dream, you are dreaming. Except when you shout or you say you're dreaming. But when you're dreaming, nobody comes and says, I noticed you are dreaming. Nobody knows your dream, except you yourself decide to run with it. See, every time, every second, every minute, God drops a vision. God drops an idea upon the surface of the earth, and He gives a million people. So don't think that the dream that you have belongs to you. You alone know it. No, a lot of people are aware of it, but you know what distinguishes you from the other person is when you run with it. When you pick up that idea and you run with it, and then it's when God knows that you're serious. So opportunities lie in our hands. Opportunities stare us in the face. It's only those who pick up the opportunity and run with it. That is the difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person. So if you don't pick it up, nobody's going to pick it up for you. If you keep waiting for people to pick it up, I will tell you, you are going to grow gray hair, if you're waiting for people. So I'm saying this because I've had people come to me, my consulting firm. I help businesses people have started businesses, and they think that, the business is supposed to wake up the next day and start making money. I must tell you that you start a venture, you start an investment, you can't wake up overnight and see it. We know that Rome is not built in a day. The Bible still tells us that the seed time and harvest, there's a gestation period. You can't plant corn and then the next morning you expect to plant a corn seed, and the next morning you expect to see a corn shooting out. You must water the plant. You must remove the weeds around the plant for you to grow healthy. And then this is exactly what we need to do in our lives and for our business, for us to maintain multiple streams of income. We've been hearing it before. We will keep on saying it, that you cannot build a house in a day. Houses are built with levels. So you have the foundation, you have the pillars, you have the structure, you have the roofing. If you don't get the roofing for your business will, birds will come in, rain will fall, and then, you will not even enjoy what you have. So I want us to look at the pitfalls. Why do I want you ask me, Maka, why are you talking about the pitfalls when you have not even finished, giving us the main, the main menu of our dish? I want to talk about it because as I'm talking, I want people to begin to reflect and say, I have done business before and it failed. This is why what Amaka is saying is the reason I failed in that business. This is why, because I want to do that. And then we will now go back and say, okay, this is how you need to do it. So if you have experienced this before in your life, you will not experience it again by knowing it. Now, I'm taking this from the book of Matthew, 13, the parable of the sower. So it's a parable of the sower. You see, the Bible is the foundation of every knowledge on earth. If you think that there's something that is new on the surface of the earth that is not from the Bible, I tell you, you are making a mistake. The word of God is the foundation, is the solid foundation of every business, everything that is happening in the world today, that happened yesterday, happened in the past, and will happen in the future. It is in the Bible. You can read it anytime from the Bible. And so I want to look at the parable of the sower. And then God likened the parable of the sower to the word of God. But I want to liken it to your business, to your investment. What are the pitfalls of multiple streams of income? Making multiple streams of income is not the problem. It's how not to get trapped in it. It's how not to get swallowed in it. And how do you not get swallowed in it? Number one, we know that the sower sowed seeds on the roadside. And what happened to the roadside? So I call it the roadside investment. Now, the roadside investment is the investment you are just walking along the road and someone is telling you and you're hearing that, oh, there is this investment, those that entered Wonder Bank or MLM, or what they call them, those multi-level banking that they did and people got their hands burnt. You just heard it. Everybody was saying it. Oh, you put money, you put 10,000 today and you get 50,000. Those are money swindlers. And so when you put your money, the birds are waiting for you and then they will pick up the money and they disappear. And that is what they did. So those people that came, you sold those seeds and on the roadside where there was nobody. It's just a roadside. Nobody sleeps on the roadside. Nobody looks on the roadside. Nobody takes care of the roadside. It's just for people to pass and go. So people pass and go. So it depends because you gave them an ear. And those are swindlers. There's so many of them. There's so many of those investments. And Bitcoin, they'll tell you when you put, you're going to get 50%. Any too good to be true investment, run away from it. And that is why the mantra of multiple streams of income is do your assignment, do your due diligence, do your feasibility study, weigh the pros and the cons, check the benefits and the merits of that investment, see if that investment fits you as a person, because the investment you're going into, there must be an alignment with your own personal goals and that of the investment. If those things don't align, you can't go into that investment. And so that is that kind of investment. You have swindlers that appear that they are the birds. So they come and then they take, and then you look for them, you can't find them because they are what? They are far gone. And those ones come so quick, you can't even get them. The next type of business is the investment that is scorched by the sun. So those kind of investments, I have it on this side, are the ones that you sow them on rocky ground. So you sow on rocky ground. So, and you know what a rocky ground is. If you sow your investment, even if you build a house on rocky ground and you don't excavate, there will be gaps. There is a tendency that house is going to fall. If you don't excavate and then make it level, it's going to fall. So when you have investments that you sow, you put money on such investments, they have no foundation, they have no control processes. So you start a business because someone is starting a business. You put money in an investment because someone is putting money in an investment, and you don't do your due diligence. You don't check. You don't know the people that are involved. You don't know the promoters of the business. You just put your money inside them. You start a business your own self. You don't do your due diligence. You don't have control processes. I see a lot of my clients. I see a number of them. I know them. I talk to them. They don't have their accounting system. They don't have records of their their sales. They don't have complete record. They just take money out of the business in and out. There's no delayed gratification. You start a business, you don't have those systems in place. Now, I would liken a business like this, like a structure. So I would liken my business like a human being. A human being has legs, and then what carries your frame is your bone, is your structure. So many businesses have they're suffering from kwashiorkor. Let me use that word. They're suffering from kwashiorkor because they don't have the requisite nutrients to feed them, and that is example of this the sowing a seed on the rocky ground where the foundation is not deep. There's the depth is not there, and then so they are so malnutritioned. They have staffs are just working the way they want to work, and then these staffs will take away that investment from you because you don't have monitoring process. You don't know how much sales is coming in every day. You don't know how much your staffs are making, how much they are expending. Somebody just spends money and they just come, I spent money. There's no evidence to show. You don't know what is coming into your business and what is going out. Even when you don't even know if this business is making profit or not. You're just running business. You don't know if this business is going to make profit next year. You're supposed to have your business, your projections. You're supposed to know how much will I make in this month of June so that I'll be able to pay salary, so that I'll be able to pay my vendors, so that I'll be able to pay myself as a business owner. So if your business cannot do that, probably because it's starting new, you're still breaking even, then you can project and say, with what is going on in the next 1 year, this business is supposed to move to the next phase. And so that is exactly where I dwell so much, because I help SMEs shift from survival mood to prosperity mood. My business has been running for over 10 years. And so, but I've been going into the business gradually. I have a 10-year-old business. I have a 4-year-old business. I have a 1-year-old business. And then so I'm going into it gradually. And I will tell you why I'm going into it gradually. Why didn't I just start a whole business at once? Now, the next type of business is the ones that are killed to death by thorns. You start your business, you don't do your due diligence, you don't do competitive analysis, you don't know who your competitors are, you don't do industry analysis, you don't know the market, you don't understand the life cycle in that market. You're just jumping into the market. The market could be at the maturity stage where people are so many in the industry. Even the people in the industry are looking for a way out, and then you're coming into the industry. You have competitors who have their tentacles on anyone who would enter. They're already engaging in price war. I'm bringing down my price. I want you to react. Another competitor reacts to the price change, and another competitor, is that the industry you want to go in? And you go into that industry, the competitors will choke your business to death. And that is what the thorns are. So they are all around, and then you cannot withstand the pressure. You can't withstand the cash flow issues that you are going to be experiencing, because when you have a business, you're not making sales, but other people are beginning to wonder, it's not the same industry they said. Is it not the same sector they said people are making money? Yeah, people are making money, but was that the right time for you to go into that industry? The right time for you to go in that industry could have been when those investors are gone. Because if they are in the decline stage, most of them will die, and then there is space. Or you can decide to collaborate with them. That's when you have mergers and acquisition. I know that in Nigeria, in Africa, we don't really value mergers and acquisition, and it's because of the trust issues that we have. So you have thorns scorching you because you have gone into the investment at the wrong time. The last one, which we all know, is the good investment. That's a fruitful investment. You do all this due diligence, and then you enter into an investment. And I can tell you that every time you will come out smiling. You will come out smiling. And then I will want to go to a very dear, chapter in the Bible, and that is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, verse 1 and 2. And then if you read along with me, I know that this is not a church program, but because I know that there's kingdom knowledge in business. If you want your business to prosper, you need to acquire kingdom knowledge in everything that you do. And then I just want to read from the amplified version of my Bible. And then it says, cast your bread on the surface of the waters. Be diligently active. Make thoughtful decisions, for you will find it after many days. Give a portion to 7, or even divide it to 8, for you do not know what misfortune may occur on the earth. COVID has come. That's the misfortune that has come. I also want to read it from the New International Reader's Version. You know, I have that on my phone. I just want to quickly, you know, go to that version. And yes, good. So I have good, the New International. So just listen. You know, I'm just reading it right now from my my Bible on my phone, and it says, "Sell your grain in the market overseas. After a while, you might earn something from it. Try to succeed by doing many things." This is just clear English. It says, try to succeed by doing many things. After all, you don't know what great trouble might come on the land. So it means that the Bible admits, or the Bible allows us to make investment in 7 places. And then it even went ahead to say, I mean, from Matthew 13, the Bible says that when you sow your seed on good ground, you would earn 60%, 30%, even 100%. That is the return on investment. So when you invest in good grounds, in good soil, you are going to make massive investments in it. Massive investments in it. You know, so, and that is the return on investment. So Jesus knew that there is no business you will do that if you do a business and you don't get returns, it means that it's either you sold on the roadside where birds, you know, pick them up, people that it doesn't belong to, they pick them up because you sold at the wrong place, or you sold it on the rocky ground that had no foundation, and then people who it meant more to, you know, will take it away from you by messing it up, and then they run you the business down. Or you sold it on the ground where thorns, you thought that, oh, this is the right time to invest. But it was the wrong time because you had thorns all waiting, and then they squashed it to death. They choked it up to death. They suffocated the business. And so when you now do it on the good ground, and Jesus is saying, I bet you're going to make 100% returns, 60%, 30% investments in it. So the next part is like, after looking at all this and how you are going to invest, what is my safety net? Amaka, okay, how am I going to, you know, do all this investment? You have said a lot of things. You have asked me to invest in agriculture, you know, and you have asked me to invest in this area that they you know, I can get free money from the bank, from investing my money in the bank. I can, you know, I can sell my talent, I can sell my skill as a person, and I can make money by the side. I can still be working, you know, wherever I'm working. I can still be doing business. Now, how many of you are doing business? Do you know of treasury bill? Your treasury functions in your business? The treasury management is looking at, how am I going to save money for this business? How am I going to manage? Some of you, at the end of the month, you have 1 million, 2 million just sitting in your bank account, and you're not using anything. You're not using it for anything. Your account officer can actually help you. You ask questions. That money can fetch you money in 1 month, in 2 months. Idle funds will fetch you money, and that the money will just be coming out. A lot of people are investing in different things, but like I said, manage your risk. It depends on you. So safety net, number 1, you're running a business currently, you're doing something. A lot of us are entrepreneurs, like I was told. Your first business, master your first stream of income. If you are, you know, any business, you are in the fashion business, you are in food industry, master it. Understand things around it. Master it in such a way that when you step out of your business, it runs on its own. It runs on its own. That is what it means by you master the in and out. You understand the control. You understand the risk that your business is exposed to. You understand the players in that industry. You understand the competitors in that industry. You understand the market dynamics. As soon as you master it like the palm of your hand, then that is the right time for you to start thinking of the next business. But if you have not mastered that business, you cannot go into another stream of income. That takes me to the next part that is in yellow, like you can see. Allow Allow the first stream of income to be on autopilot mode. There's a difference between self-employed and an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is someone who can sleep, who can go on vacation, and business is still running. A self-employed is someone who will still have to be on the job. You still have to be going to the office every day. You have to be seen. You are involved 100% in the business. Without you, the business will have issues. That is a self-employed. But an entrepreneur, you put processes in place. You set up the process in such a way that it runs autopilot. The next one is cash spinners. So when your investment, your business starts bringing cash, the first business, we call it cash cow. Just like a cow is full with milk and you milk it. You milk it continuously every day. It's bringing money to you. The same way, as soon as that business gets to the stage that it brings money for you, it is settled, then you can now diversify into additional stream of income. If your business has not started bringing more cash flow, if your business has not started giving you excess liquidity, more liquidity, if your business is not liquid enough that you go to your bank account and you see, oh, I can see 1 million in the account. Then tomorrow the 1 million increases to 1.5. And then the next, if your business has, and then you take out money, plow it back into the business and you multiply. If your business has not gotten to that point, if you don't have a business, if you are an employee and you have not started making, you have not started, you are living above your means, you can't generate such excess funds. But if you are living within your means and you are having side fund, more cash flow, then I can tell you that is the time to invest that money, because you're seeing it, and it has to be consistent. There should be consistency. Then this is time for you to diversify. Now, diversification are different. You can have related diversification and you can have unrelated diversification. The scenario I painted, or the example that I painted about having a poultry and then you going backward or forward integration, it's a type of diversification. So, but it is called a related diversification because it's related. You can go into that. You can even go into packaging of, like I said, chicken fillet. You can go into mincemeat. You can go into, supplying, eateries, which a lot of people are doing. You supply eateries with your poultry and all that. So if you can diversify, that's an area of that service that you're not offering, and you are creating a product out of your poultry farm. That is a related diversification. But when you are talking about an industry that is, another related diversification is your experience. You've set up a poultry, you have a farm, you are a fashion designer. Have you thought of training people? You have been a fashion designer for 5 years, 10 years. You should have the skill, you should have the requisite skill. Have you thought of, I want to train people on how to earn this skill and I'll make money out of it? Have you thought of, have you thought of, finding schools around? There's so many schools who are looking for trustworthy, people that can deliver school uniforms for them. Have you thought of that? Have you thought of, diversifying out of your sector? That is also related diversification. So if you are a fashion designer and then you want to now go into, and let me just look for something very close, you want to go into agriculture, it's unrelated, because you are going into the food industry. You are leaving the fashion world and you're going into the food industry. So same thing with fashion. So many things are in the fashion industry. You are a makeup artist. Have you thought of teaching people? I know there are a lot of makeup artists. People say we are makeup, but when they make you up, oh my goodness. You would look for yourself. You won't find yourself, All right. So you look for, determine what related diversification is cheaper, is less risky than unrelated diversity, because you're going into an area that is totally different for you. So you need to do a lot of research, you need to understand, you need to do a lot of planning, you need to do a lot of modeling. Then you have that's related or diverse. So when you get to this point, that is where you have recycle step one. So that means you have started the second stream of income. master that second stream of income. Understand the in and out of that second stream of income before you go into the next one, which is going to be the third one. After the third one, you master it, no matter how long it takes you to get there. You see, the distance between you and your success is just time. Time is what takes you from where you are to where you want to be. So the distance between you and your success is time. So there's no rush in time. They say slow and steady wins the race, but fast and furious with the right skill, with the right knowledge, will also win the race. So take time to understand the business before you go into it. And that takes me to what you need to know, the kind of person you need to become before you go into the business. I actually want to check my time, and I hope I'm still within time. So I have 1:10. I'm actually running out of time. I think I've exhausted my time. So it's 1:10. So for okay, no, all right. Yes, 12:45 to 1:10, 45 minutes. Can somebody talk to me? Somebody talking to me?
Yes, please. You can go ahead, ma.
Oh, please. Oh, thank you.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me just give me 20 minutes and I would definitely round up. So
that's fine.
Your person skill, work skill and personal skill. Look, you can't start something that you don't know. Forget it. It won't come from heaven. There is time for learning. When before Jesus Christ got to the synagogue, before he started teaching, do you remember they said he took time to study the word of God? He himself came in mankind, but he still took time. And that was why the Jews were saying, is this not the son of Joseph? And the mother is Mary? Are these not his brethren beside me? But he took years to study, to show himself approved. That's why the Bible says, study to show yourself approved. So you can't start anything. Entrepreneurial spirit is needed. It's not everybody that can do business. It's not everybody that can have 7 streams of income. There's sometimes you wake up in the morning and you don't see the money. It's not showing in your bank account. And those times are the times you need to sit up and say, I will continue to forge ahead. If you don't have that spirit, forget it. You can't go. So don't let anybody fool you that, oh, you need to start your own business. Oh, you need to, when you don't have the requisite skill to do that. Technology, you need to understand technology. That is where we are going. There was a time we were not using phone, but right now, if you don't know how to use a phone, you are behind. Same thing, if you don't know how to use a computer system, understand facts and figures, then being an entrepreneur is going to be a difficult thing for you to do, because your staffs are going to be modeling up the figures for you. They will be, giving you false information, and you would not understand it if you don't know how to do technology. People management. An entrepreneur must be able to manage people. You must be able to manage your staff. You must be able to inspire your staff. You must be able to push your staff from where they are to where you want them to be. You must be able to sell your vision. Why do employees leave their place of work after 2 months, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months of joining? It is because they don't buy into the vision of the owner of the business. They don't buy into your vision. They don't understand it. Their goals are not aligned with yours. So if you are not able to sell your vision to them, they will not buy it. If they are not willing to go along with you on that journey, being an entrepreneur and having employees is like a relationship. It's like a boat carrying everybody along. And so if you guys are not going towards the same direction, then you people are going to stop in the middle of the road. It's either one, people enter inside the water, or they leave them and it moves on. So you must have that people management skill. Manage your staff. You should be able to negotiate very well. Your staffs will come with all sorts of ideas. If you don't negotiate very well, you would lose money. So investment bankers will come and tell you they will give you 1%. If you don't negotiate very well for your money, you say, this is my money, I'm giving you my money, I need the interest rate to be high. Negotiate with a lot of people and say, I want to fix my money. How much are you going to give me? How much rate are you going to give me? Negotiate with suppliers, negotiate with vendors. You can, this is endless. I can't go on and on to, it's another thing entirely. Emotional intelligence, self-control, that is a person skill. But as an entrepreneur, you must know how not to express your emotions in front of your staff, and you must be assertive and alter that. Team building, form a team with your staff, be goal oriented. As a person, you must be resilient. If you are not resilient, I don't know how they will tell you that there's poor sales, and you go to bed and sleep. You have to be resilient. You have to forge ahead. No matter what you see ahead of you, you keep on forging ahead and believing that what God has shown you, the dream that you have, that this company, this investment is going to grow from 100,000 naira to 1 billion naira, is what you continue to see. You must put your dream, your vision ahead of you. And that is where it comes to making God your source. And then the Bible tells us that Abraham, God promised Abraham that he was going to have a child. He was 100 years old. He never doubted. He never wavered. And that is what resilience does. That is what trust in God does. That is what confidence in God does. That you have confidence in God, that what he has shown you, what he has promised you, that this business is going to grow, you're going to make investment, that God has said you should put your money in different ways, in 7 ways. And he's saying you make 100%, you make 60, you make 30%. Where is the promise? You have to believe on God that he's going to do that. Self-control. You as a person, you cannot be an entrepreneur when you don't ideate. See, you cannot give what you don't have. If you can't bring ideas, if you can't strategize, if you can't think of where your business is going to be in the next 5 years, nobody will do that for you. So that is a person skill you have to develop yourself. You have to be multitasking. See, you want to manage, you want to have multiple streams of income. It's not a bed of roses. You have to decide that at night, you have to wake up and check an email. You have to work late at night. Sometimes there's a time for you to enjoy anyway, but you are managing different businesses at the same time. It doesn't come easy. So don't let somebody say, oh, so because for you to be successful, Mark Zuckerberg, did he tell you people the nights that he sat down and he was working on the program to set up Facebook? Did he tell you people the nights he has been working on the Facebook, the new Facebook page that he has created, such that you can, the e-commerce part of Facebook? He didn't do it overnight. He has been working on it day and night. Staff have been working on it. You have to be multitasking. You have to know that there is a supplier that is coming there. You have to know that the pension is paying you. You have to know this. You have to know that. You have to manage your own family at the same time. You have to be energetic. You have to be energetic. If you're someone who falls ill, if you're someone that sleeps a lot, if you're someone that is, lousy, that is lazy, I have to spell it out to you people, because I don't cover the truth. If you are not energetic, if you can't wake up in the morning when you're supposed to wake up, if you can't go without food sometimes because you have a deadline to meet, then you cannot be an entrepreneur. Multiple streams of income is not for you. You need to have innate drive. You need to have innate drive. Something has to drive you. Pastor Mayokun cannot always come up and drive you people, cannot always come up and say, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's time to wake up. No, you have to have innate drive. Something has to drive you. And the driving force you need, and everybody needs, is from the inside. And what gives you that driving force? The Holy Spirit gives you that driving force. If the Holy Spirit does not motivate you and move you to where God wants you to be, nobody will, no matter how much we talk. And that is why the theme of this summit is reflect. Everything that Pastor has been saying, everything the speakers have said last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, how many have you done? That innate drive must be in you to start doing and not just listen. Now I'm showing you 3 great women. There are many of them. Ibuku Anwoshika, she has several businesses, and she's partnering with GTB Bank, invested in it. She has investors, because if you don't show investors that you are capable of managing a business, nobody will give you their money. Nobody will allow you to manage their money. Folorunsho Alakija is in different industry. She's in oil and gas, she's in fashion, she's in development. She has Rose of Sharon is printing, press, digital, and all that. Ndidi Muneli, I mean, obviously you guys know their recent, she's from Harvard University, and she finished there, and she's into agriculture, really driving agriculture. She's the founder of Sahel Capital, Ace Food, and she's really going, doing a lot of things. Now, I have a lot of questions that people have been asking me. What does success mean to you? Now, success to me is when you, listening to me right now, have gotten to the point where you have achieved what God has proposed for your life. And that is what takes me to question 2. How do I find my purpose in life? The only person that can tell you the features of a product is the maker of the product. Every product you buy, you see the features. Phones, you see the features, and it is only Samsung, Apple, and the rest of them that will tell you these are the features of the product. The same thing, the purpose of your life lies in the mind of God. And then it is your duty to ask your creator, what is my purpose? If you don't have the Holy Spirit in you, if you don't have that innate drive in you to understand when God speaks to you, you can't find your purpose in life. I have found my purpose. I have the gifts that God has given me. I write, I speak effortlessly. That thing that you do effortlessly is the gift that God has given you. God created you, created me, and gave us a gift. He dropped it inside of us when He breathed, His life in us. And then He said, find it yourself. So you need to find it by asking God. God lives in us, and begin to ask yourself, what is that thing that I can do effortlessly? What is that thing that I don't need to bat an eyelid? I don't need to read anything to do it. It's a skill that you have. Is the skill that I have, and that is your purpose in life. So you begin to harness that purpose, you begin to work on that purpose. The next question people ask me is, how do you motivate yourself to continue to move on? I say that innate drive, it has to be inside of you. The Holy Spirit must give you, you must be able to meditate on the word of God for you to have that innate drive. You must be able to meditate on the promises of God. You must be able to see God as your source. Yes, there's so many things happening in the industry. Businesses are, it also affected the pharmaceutical industry, which I'm also a player in. But does that bother me? No, it doesn't bother me, because I know that God knows the end from the beginning, and then He that has started the great work in me, He will perfect everything. So I need not worry. Now, why do people worry? Because worry is in the DNA of human beings. The devil allows us to worry so that we can miss out on the promises of God for our life. Life is very easy. Life is very simple. God has made it simple. He said, God has given us all things, all things, all things. He has made all things beautiful. But if you don't believe, if you don't understand that God has done everything, He has perfected everything, you cannot motivate yourself. You will wake up in the morning, you'll be tired. You think that the world is on top of you. A lot of people will go to bed and sleep. When they wake up, they look and see the world fell on top of them. It's because you have not keyed into that promise of God. Dusi Enyeka sang a song, and he said that after all the noise, all everything, is me and you, God. Every noise that is happening in your life, forget it. It's not within the promises of God. Forget it and move on. What if I do not have money to start a business? Start from somewhere. Start from somewhere. Start from your kitchen. If you know how to cook, start from your kitchen and believe that your food is going to taste good. Put in effort, learn, do it, and bring it out. I was talking to someone. I said, she always tells me, there's no business again where photo, people have to come into the studio, but because of COVID, blah, blah, blah. I said, have you thought of selling your pictures online? Have you thought of it? Have you assessed that stuff? You sell your videos, your pictures online, you'll be getting, it's very easy. Snap and send, snap and post, nice. You have the camera, you have standard cameras. You can do that, so you can start from small. You can even start saving, have a goal, have a target, set a target for yourself and say you want to start saving, and by in the next 6 months, this is how much you are going to, taxes. They say there is no success without sacrifice. But if you are able, and there is no success without sacrifice, and your sacrifice must have an objective. If you don't have an objective for sacrificing, your sacrifice is a waste. Jesus sacrificed himself on the cross of Calvary because he had an objective, and the objective was to free mankind from the bondage that the devil has put them in. The next one is, how do you balance your personal life with career, work, family as a woman? A lot of women keep asking that question. I'm like, hello, darling, stop asking that question. That question you don't need to ask. Life moves on. You cannot balance everything. You will juggle them. And as you juggle, somebody has done so much annotation on my screen. I hope it's not a hacker that has come into Zoom hackers that have come into annotate on our screen. So you have, you have a time when some are going up. Just when you juggle balls, some of them go up while some are in the middle, some are below. And they all come down again, and that one that was down will go up. So, but the thing is that you must know what your success story is. Focus on it. For me, my career was not like other people's career. I have a family, I get pregnant, and when I get pregnant, I'm totally sick down and out. It's like I'm going to die, but I used to wonder, God, how did you do it that it's as if I was going to die, but I still give birth to? So I have to stop my job. I can't go to work. Those times I sacrificed. And I had an objective, is to bring up these children in the way of God. That was my objective. And as I was having those days, I was studying, I was preparing myself for my future, I was preparing myself. And so you cannot say you will balance everything. Don't balance it. Don't think of balancing it. Do what you can do per time. Life is beautiful. Life is easy. Life is happy. You need to enjoy life as it comes. And God has made it so. Do I need to be a business owner to be successful? No, you don't need to be a business owner. But you need to identify your skill. You need to know what you're good at. You need to know what comes easy, for you. I want to ask a lot of questions. My first question is that you need to ask yourself, are you a thermostat or are you a thermometer? A thermometer just checks temperature. Any temperature is cold, I'm there. It's hot, I'm there. Anything that happens in the environment, I'm there. I'm just there. I'm a thermometer. I'm cold. If you are a thermostat, you are going to ignite. So when the weather is cold, you are hot. When people are saying there is a problem, you are seeing greatness. You are firebrand. When anywhere is hot, you are there to calm it down. You are a thermostat. So you change the times and the season for yourself because you have the life of God in you. Are you making movement or you are making progress? So many people confuse making movement with progress. If you are just there, you are neither making money, you are neither running a business, you are neither having a skill, you don't have anywhere you belong. You just wake up in the morning, you dress up, you go to church, you come out, you preach, and things are not moving in your life. Things are just going, and everything is happening. You're just making movement. Progress. There should be something that signifies progress in your life, and until you are able to pinpoint that thing, you are only making movement. Another thing is, do you have burden bearers in your life? If you have not gotten to the point where you have in your network burden bearers, for people that are married, number one burden bearer, it should be your husband. If your husband is not your burden bearer, then you have to pray for God to make him your burden bearer. You need to have burden bearers in your network. Your staffs can also be in that network of burden bearers. People who will work for you, people who will speak on your behalf, people who will go the extra mile for you, people who will be there for you when you feel that the world is not, on your side. They are the burden bearers. People who will tell you that everything is going to be okay. People who will say, I am here for you. Come rain, come sunshine. They are your burden bearers. You need them in your life for you to succeed in having your multiple streams of income or doing anything you want to do in life. And lastly is that, do you have the SAN? Are you a SAN? And what does SAN mean? S stands for skill. Do you have the skill to have multiple streams of income? Do you have a skill to be an entrepreneur? Do you have a skill to take yourself through life as a person, as an individual? Number two is, are you agile? Do you have the agility? Do you respond to things or you just react to things? If you're an agile person, you should be able to respond to things. And you must be in the spirit for you to respond to things. You must have eaten the word of God. You must have reflected on the things around you. You must be a learner. You must be a runner. You must be energetic for you to be able to be, for you to be agile, for you to be an agile person. The last one is N. Do you have the network? You need to start praying for God to bring you men of influence, to bring you valuable people. Valuable people can be your relative, they can be your staffs. Have you experienced gifted people? You need God to make your network to be a rich and a healthy network. That was a prayer I started praying in the year 2020 in January. I said, God, give me a rich and a healthy network. Do you have people in your network that you will call on and they start giving you excuse? You're not asking them for money, but just, can you give me this information? And somebody is giving you excuse. Do you have people in your network that you will will call and say, I need this thing. And they say, hold on, let me call you back. I have somebody that can do it for you. If you don't have people in that network, do you have people that will mention your name for good? Do you have them in your network? Or do you have people who will just gossip, who will just talk? You're talking about the next hair that is in vogue, or you're talking about the next thing that is a fashion that is in vogue, that does not add value to your life. Do you have valuable people and gifted people in your network that you will have something to do? You are at work and you need an information. How do I do this thing? And you call on them and they respond to you. If you don't have them, you need to begin to pray for your skill, for energy, and for the network. Now, do you know that success is not your destiny? It is an option. Les Brown said it, and I picked that. It's an option. So it's left for us to decide. Do you want to succeed or you don't want to succeed? If you want to succeed, then you have to be on the lane of successful people. And that lane is a fast lane. The people that are not successful are on the service lane. They are moving slow. They are moving at their own pace. But successful people move on the fast lane. And it is an option. When you're driving on the road, you decide whether you want to be on the service lane or on the fast lane. So I want to encourage everyone to decide to move on the fast lane, decide to move, pick the option of success. Success does not come easy. It comes with hard work, it comes with dedication, it comes with perseverance, it comes with resilience, it comes with confidence, it comes with a lot of things. And those things must be founded in God, because God must be our own foundation to do anything and be successful in life. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I exceeded my time. I wasn't looking at the time. I so apologize. It's not in my attitude to do that, but because the screen has covered my time, so I couldn't see. So thank you very much, Pastor. Thank you, Yemi, for the opportunity to be here. I can say Adeshola, thank you so much for this. I will take questions now.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You have given out so much. We have learned. You are so deep. We are really, really grateful. We have learned so much. I'll do a brief recap of the things you have shared with us. Mrs. Akintoye, we really appreciate your magnanimous, your generosity, sharing all of this with us, this information. They are deep. We are really grateful. Thank you so much, ma. Mrs. Amaka Akintoye started by sharing with us.
Sorry, Akintoye. It's T-E-Y-E.
Akintoye, please pardon me. Mrs. Akintoye, she started by sharing with us the streams of multiple streams of income. She spoke about retirement plan, what plans do we have, for our retirement in terms of our health as we age. There's a tendency to have health issues, even in terms of finances, when you're not earning anymore. What plans do you have in place? She also mentioned she spoke about debt management. If you're not earning, the reason why you shouldn't, involve yourself you shouldn't engage in debt when you're not earning anything. She spoke about risk management. Mrs. Akintoye spoke about, lifestyle, your business lifestyle. She spoke also about sources of passive income. She spoke about interest income, which examples are like fixed deposits, investment funds, joint cooperative societies, and the like. Then she spoke about real investment and rental income, how you can make money from real investment. She gave an example of how someone can get a mortgage, to get a house, and you pay back your mortgage as you give it out in form, and as you receive rent from such properties. She spoke about paper assets. She also spoke about network marketing, and she cited examples of how people that are in paid employment, bankers, are able to involve themselves in network marketing. However, she gave us a clause that we should make sure that we have done our research, we know our onions before we go ahead in all of this. She spoke about business ventures. Most of us on this platform here, we are entrepreneurs, and she gave us, insights on how a business venture can actually be profiting, when you come up with new products, when you focus on a skill, you have a problem to solve. She also spoke about selling a skill, solving a problem. She also mentioned that we shouldn't go into business without identifying the problem that we want to solve. She spoke about intellectual property, digital marketing, which is the wave of the moment now. If you are techie, if you can, garner knowledge and experience in this area, it's an opportunity for you to be able to train and help businesses. She also spoke about the 4 major sectors in business that we can consider this season: agriculture, industries, services, and the oil sector. And she spoke extensively about agriculture. And one thing she mentioned here that we can take advantage of the fact that, our tomato paste in Nigeria, we actually don't have preservation for it. We don't store it. And if we can actually look into that, that's an opportunity for us. She spoke about backward integration in farming. She used an example of owning a livestock farm, and you're using the waste to produce manure for the farmland. She spoke extensively, and we were really blessed by that. But ma'am, there's something I'd like to ask you here, having said all of this. What counsel would you give to a startup now? A startup that is considering what to do in new normal. What counsel will you give to them, ma'am?
Okay, so a startup, the person is not in any business, you just want to start a business. The question is, can you look around you? You don't know what to do. You can look around you. A lot of businesses have gone down, but I can tell you that there are businesses that are springing up. There are businesses, a lot of businesses are springing up. There are industries that you can never go wrong with, and that is food industry. People will always buy food. People will always eat. No matter, see, I've seen a mama put by the roadside who in months bought a house. And I'm sorry, but she wasn't selling good food. I didn't buy from her, but I monitored and I followed up, and I heard she had bought a house. She didn't do magic. It was from that business. And she grew and got a house, bought a house with the bank, and she opened a restaurant. The problem is because some of them don't stay long because they don't have the processes in place, and then they die because they don't manage it. But like I said, you can never go wrong with food business. Some people say, I don't have money. Start small. I have people who have been selling food in this period during the lockdown. Some people just turned into being a caterer, started selling food. I have people who had bakeries, and the bakeries were not working. They left it to their start. They had to go in and start selling. Bakery is something that you can start. You can start on a small scale, but please get it right, because food, edible things are things that can be very poisonous if it's not done well. So you must have to look at it, but you can never go wrong with that, And also, you want to start a business, and like I said, your skill will go a long way to determine if you can do that. And then the problem around you, you're staying in a particular, look around you, open your eyes, see, is there a restaurant? If there's no restaurant, do you have a supermarket in that area? That's another area that you can never go wrong with it, because I can't start going to service industry. Service industry means that you must have the skill. Like I run a service industry, I run a consulting firm, I manage, also I'm a partner with an HR company. It's a service industry, and it is related to my skill, to my intellect. So I'm selling my intellect, so it's easy for me to go into that industry. That also applies to you. Is there a skill that you have? Is there an intellect that you have? Forget about the fact that COVID has gone, some businesses are not doing well. The thing is, you have to take your business online. Look, you can have a business, you can sell products without anybody seeing your face. You can do drop shipping. You can sell, have people who are on Instagram. You don't know them, people buy from them. They set up you need it, they deliver. You can go into the delivery industry. If you have money to buy one bike, buy a bike. Get a bike man. Begin to put the process in place. Do the registrations you need to register. Begin to use that bike. And then, because delivery logistic is the new norm. Because people don't want to come out from their house. People don't want to come out again because they're afraid of being, from, catching the virus. So why don't you do something? So a lot of people are going to that delivery, but I'm telling you, it's not enough. Even the number of people that are there is not enough, because I use that service. I don't want to go into that service because you can't do everything. The ones that I have, they're not even enough. Sometimes they say that they're already fully booked. So if they're fully booked, it means that their industry is still, growing, it's still starting. So it's an area that you can play in right now. I don't know if I've been able to, pick one or two of those.
Yes, ma, you have. You have spoken well. We have noted it that we can do delivery business. We can actually sell food and all that. I have another question here, ma. Someone here is asking. She says, what category do we put house investment? It's part of the things you have spoken about. But she asked that what category do we put house investment?
It's real estate. House investment is real estate. That's that's the sector.
Okay. Okay.
Real estate.
Okay, ma. I have another question here, ma. What counsel will you give a business owner that records a high level of staff turnover? You spoke about having somebody you can confide in and all that. So if you now have high level of staff turnover, how do you cope?
Okay. Now, you have to, for every problem, there is always a root cause of the problem. So number one is to, first of all, identify what the root cause of the problem. The problem is not staffs are leaving. There could be a problem. I'm sorry to say the problem could be from you. Starting from the point of hiring those staffs, you might have hired the wrong staff. So if you have so many staffs, I would suggest you give that function to an HR company to hire the right staff, do the due diligence on that staff. If that is not the root cause of the problem, another problem could be that you have not gotten their buy-in. For every staff I hire, doing interview, when I'm interviewing for clients because I said I run an HR company, or even for my own staffs, for any of the sectors that I play in. During the interview, I always ask them a question. This is my vision. This is where I want to. Do you want to run with this? Do you want to be a part player in this? Do you want to partner with us? Because a lot of companies get it wrong. No matter how your systems are, your processes are, if you like, go to Harvard University and bring in your process. If you have unwilling staffs, they will run it down. So you need to get the buy-in of your staff. You need to be a transformational leader. You need to be a visionary leader. You need to be a leader that understands where he or she is going to. If you don't know your goals, if you don't know your vision, if you don't know where you want to be in the next 5 years, then your staffs don't know. So you need to sell it to them. Like, I'm using the word sell because whatever you sell, somebody must buy. There must be a buyer. You as the entrepreneur is the seller, and then the staffs are the buyer. They must buy into that vision. They must align your goals with their goals. Another thing is staff turnover, welfare. How are you taking care of your staffs? Every time I left paid employment because I was not well taken care of by my employer. I've worked in a scenario, before I started working, I always tell God, I don't want to work in a bank. I've heard so much about bank, the way they talk to people. And unfortunately, the one bank that I now eventually worked in, I had the MD who would call us imbecile, like literally, like call names. And you begin to wonder, what the, you mean? I left that because I'm a child of God. I can't stand where there is negativity, where there is no progress, where things that have been said, words are spoken into my life, and I have the choice to leave or to stay. So now I'm going to welfare. Your relationship with your staff, they matter a lot, because whatever we do in life, we must switch position, assuming you are the employee. How would you want to be treated? So life is a life of equity. So treat others as you want to be treated. So that's another thing that you have to look at. If you are able to look and analyze these scenarios. We take out, the ones that are not the causes of the problem, and now go deep down into the root cause. But I'm listing out possible causes why people have high turnover. So if we are able to do that, drive them, sell the vision to them, buy in, they don't start the job, and also have I don't know, some people don't have offer letter. You get a staff, you don't give them offer letter. The relationship between an employer and a staff is that of a contractual one. So you must have a contract. You must know this is what you are going to do. You will leave. Before you leave, you have to give me 1 month notice. Before you do that, you're going to start it. And then another thing, you have staffs, they leave. Some of them don't feel they belong there because the same thing, you have not told them what you're doing. They just come to work and they're just working. There's a kind of approach I adopt. And what kind of leadership approach do you adopt? You need to understand the kind of leadership approach that will work for you. I prefer team approach, team leadership approach, or what they call participatory kind of leadership always works. It produces the best results. Where you bring in your staffs, you seek their opinion when you want to. That doesn't mean you're going to take their opinion, but it's like you're giving them the opportunity to feel belonging. Every human being loves to feel belonging. Abraham Maslow talked about the level of needs. At a time in people's lives, there's a time where you get to where you feel you want that esteem need, you want to feel belonging. It happens to everybody, and those are those non-financial needs. So staff want to belong, want to show that, yes, I'm a member of staff. They know that I am here. They know that I'm valued. Some staffs, you'll be surprised that another thing is for you to understand the talent of your staff. Some staffs want to be leaders. Some staffs have the leadership skill in them. They are innate. For me, I am a leader. I'm a born leader. So if I'm working somewhere and I am not given the opportunity to express my leadership skill, it's look as if I'm being, caged in a cocoon. You're not allowing me to express myself. As a leader, leaders want to do more. Leaders want to work without, supervision. That's the theory X and Y. There are different types of employees. Some employees, you always want to take decisions. They want to take, supervision. They want to take, responsibility. They don't want to take responsibility for their action, but they always want to be giving them. But there's some employees, that's theory Y employees, they always do things without you telling them what to do. They have discretion. They do. But when you come into an organization where they don't allow you to use your discretion, they don't ask for your opinion, they feel your opinion doesn't matter, you just give them one-way traffic and say, this is your job description, do your job description, and you never call your team, let's brainstorm. You don't have meetings with your team. Let me hear you out. What are the problems you're facing? What is the problem you're facing in your department? What is the problem you're facing? Are you okay? Sometimes you need to be human. Sometimes I walk into my outlet and I see them. I read my staff's body language. What's the matter? Why is your face like this? They said, I'm not feeling fine. So why did you come to work? And I'll ask the manager, has he taken anything for his ailment? See, at that particular moment, they can feel that I've shown them love. I've treated them like my fellow human being, the way I want my boss to look at. That doesn't mean I look at their faces all the time, but sometimes I have to do that because I want to show you that you are part of this vision. You are part of this dream. You are in this boat together with us. Because what a leader must do is must give their employees confidence that they know where they are going to. If employees begin to have that feeling that it's like this, our pilot does not even know our destination, does not even know how to pilot this ship, does not even understand that we are having problems, the ship is leaking and it's going, they will exit, they will find their way. So these and many more, I can go on and on to talk about the reasons why your employees, why you would have huge staff turnover. I used to have it before when I started the pharmaceutical industry. I was having high staff turnover. But as I began to treat the problem from the root cause of the problem, I began to devise another means. And like I said, ask God for valuable people, gifted staffs, valuable staff that will come in, add value. They won't want to leave. They won't want to go because it's part of them. So those staffs that will come and will stay. See, if you have 2 of those staffs that are energetic, that are gifted, that are burden bearers, that are divine connectors, can tell you, you can always go to bed and sleep. They will be your voice. They will speak for you and tell other staff, you know what? This is our dream. This is a company. We have to work. We're getting money. We're getting our income. But at the same time, I'm not saying you should pet them. I also drive my staff. I tell them, you know what? If you don't want to run with me with this vision, you take the door. There are so many people out there who want to get the job. You see, you have to, you know, like Yorubas will say that don't throw the water and the baby, you know, and the baby away, you know. So it's just like giving someone the pat at the back and also telling them the truth. So you have to do that. And so that's the kind of leader you must be for you to keep your staffs, because the staffs are, they know, I mean, they are staffs. I don't know. I hope I've not gone too far away from the question.
No, we have learned a lot from all that you have said, Ma. I have another question here. You said something about control. You used an illustration about a business in which the staff, you know, will just report to the boss that I have spent XYZ amount on, you know, on ABC. You know, there is no control. How would you just give us an idea of what should be expected for startups here, the type of control that is required for their businesses?
Okay, thank you. I'm a partner with King Living Consulting, and we do accounting, audit, tax, putting in controls in place into your processes. So if you have an accounting, you know, some startups, you start, your bank account is your own, is in your personal name. Number one, that is wrong. You must have a corporate account where money goes in and out of the account. You have to distinguish yourself from your company. Your company is a different entity entirely from yours. And so that is number one, control, because control is synonymous to corporate governance. So if you have corporate governance in place, there must be control set. And when I mean control, there are different controls that you have to put in place. Can I give a typical example? Let me give a very mild example of what I mean by control. Let me use an example of a retail business. Let me say, for instance, a supermarket. You come into a supermarket, you must
It looks like we have a hitch with our network. While she's trying to come in, let me continue with the recap. Mrs. Akitaye also spoke about safety nets. She said we should master our first stream of income first before we diversify. She spoke about allowing our first stream of income to run on autopilot, not being in a hurry to diversify or to get into multiple streams of income. She spoke about cash spinner. She said if our business is not liquid enough, that we shouldn't look for another means of business. She said also that she mentioned types of investments, that we shouldn't involve ourselves in roadside investment. When we say roadside investment, it means the for example, MMM investment that people did, and it affects, they lost so much funds. She spoke about MMM investments such as the ones that are carted away by the birds, by the swindlers. She said investments must align with our personal goals. She also spoke about investments in the sun. She said we should ensure that we do due diligence. We should ensure that we should find out about the control processes of the business we want to invest in. We should find out about the accounting system. She said systems that do not have sales record, we shouldn't invest in it. She said we should make sure that we practice delayed gratification. She likened a business as a human.
Okay, I'm here now.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome, ma. Thank you, ma.
Cut me out, and so I'm trying to connected again.
Okay, ma.
Okay,
yes.
So what I was saying is, so those processes, apart from your HR process, you have your accounting process, you have your sales process, you have your purchases. you have to have those documentation. Some people will start from SMEs, who starts from having manual records. We can do but everyone needs to go online, because we have, accounting softwares that are online accounting, which we do for SMEs who can afford to have accounting systems. So when you have fridging, like some supermarkets don't even know if their staffs are taking their products. They don't do inventory count. You don't know how much you have had on the 1st of June and how much goods you have at the end of June, because you don't have the records. You just sell, you just see money, and you come into the outlet and say, how much have you made today? And they say, we have made 500,000, give me 100,000. You just take 100,000. That is lack of corporate governance. That's lack of process. And when your staff sees that, they also take money. If there's no automated process, see, you cannot have a business and you think that the prices of everything, like for that retail outlet, is going to be in your head, like our Igbo brothers who say, history has shown, even research has shown, that an average startup has a lifespan of 3 to 5 years. After that, they fizzle out of existence. And the major problem is lack of corporate governance, lack of structure, lack of controls in place. Staffs will steal, staffs' money will go out. You yourself as an entrepreneur, you're stealing from your own business because you are not keeping records. There's nobody that is checking what you're doing. There is no audit. Every year, as a limited liability company, you must have an audit. You must be able to say at the end of the month, this is how much I have made. This is how much revenue I have made. This is the cost of the goods or the services that I have offered. This is the cost that I have incurred. This is the profit that I have made. Then this is how much I'm going to pay myself from the profit I have made from the business. If you cannot say categorically that my business makes 1 million, 5 million, 10 million naira on a monthly basis, then you have not started business. If you can't say, if I ask you, you can't say it on top of your head, then you have not started business. You have to come to the point. You have just been making movements. That's what we call movement. You're not making progress. So until you come to that point where you can easily tell me, you can easily say that this is how much, this is the cost, and you will see the cost. So if you do your accounts every month, it's a management report, we call it, you can see your cost and you can know the percentage of your cost to your revenue. You'll be able to see that in January, my cost was 5 million. In February, the cost was 5.5. In March, it's 7 million. Your cost is increasing. You begin to ask questions. Why is this cost increasing? What is responsible for this cost? You might, I mean, that is what is going on in the government, that they have ghost workers. I mean, cost is just going on. You don't even know who you are paying salary. Some companies are existing, they don't even know their employees. Some companies are existing and then they say, oh, they just spend money. You see petty cash is rising up, it's going on. You don't know what they are doing. But even when you know what they are doing, you can actually cut costs. Like, this is the moment, this is the time where we cut costs. Your personal cost, your business cost. And if you don't know your finances well, you can't get a hold of it. So I don't know if I've answered it. I mean, I will be ready to take questions out of this. I could be ready to meet with people that have, but I can't really answer some of these questions in, as a whole, because there's so many bits to it.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Akiteye. We are really blessed by all that you have shared with us. We have learned, and you said something about SAN. You said skill, agile, and network. I mean, what you said about network is profound, ensuring that we have people that are ready, people that are ready to help within our network, having a healthy network, having men of influence within our network. Now, for someone that is just hearing this for the first time and is considering that, okay, I'm skillful, okay, I'm agile, or I can improve on my, my agility. I can improve by being a learner, by being energetic. However, I don't yet have the network. Now, the network can be in form of the divine one. And in terms of connecting with people, what deliberate measures will you recommend for people that want to have, this type of network? Ma.
Okay, you said leverage. I had said it before that you need to pray. I mean, this is a Christian forum, and whether it's a Christian forum or it's not a Christian forum, everything I say is kingdom-based. You need to ask God, and number one, you need to be a valuable person yourself, because you can't be asking for something that you can't give on your own. So you need to be a valuable person. You need to also be gifted. You need to be valuable to other people. Now, networking is an act. It's a habit. It has to be a lifestyle. See, whether you are an introvert or you are an extrovert, forget about it. That is what people will say. You talk. You are a human being. It's about, there is a program that Google set up and it's called I Am Remarkable. It's talking about promoting yourself everywhere, every day, and every time. If you say you are a child of God, you should be proud of what God has made you to be. Just because you exist is something to be proud of, that God counted you worthy to be, on earth, today. So when you meet people, every opportunity you have, every gathering, every opportunity to have to talk to someone, make use of it. Sell yourself. Oh, my name is Amaka Akintaye. I'm a chartered accountant. I write, I do this. See, you must come to the point whereby you have so much confidence in yourself and what God has given you that you are not afraid or ashamed to talk about it every time and anytime. And that is network. That comes with confidence in yourself. I know a lot of women struggle with confidence. They struggle with self-awareness. They struggle with self-worth. And if you don't have a good sense of your self-worth, then you would have problems with networking with people. You would have problems with building your network. Now, the network I'm talking about is network of people. Everybody will add value to your life. Everybody you meet every day will one day, might not today, make sense in your net worth. Do you understand that? So everybody, you must make it a point of duty that I know COVID is, make people social distancing and all that. But you know what? Very soon, the COVID will pass away. People will start coming together. She will start going to churches. You will start. How many people in your church know you? How many people do you know in your church and then you see them outside? A lot of us don't bond with people in our church because the church is made up of several people. Have you even sold yourself to your family members? Because if people within your closest network don't have confidence in you, in the value that you can give, then you will find it difficult to make people outside that are not closer to you to have to believe in the value that you have to offer them. If you have skill in, I mean, I will always use this example because it's closest to me. You have a fashion designing business and you don't sew clothes for your family members. They are your first bet. They're your first point of contact. So building a network, everywhere you go, you should be able to sell yourself. See, you're not telling people what you do just because you want to tell them. You get their contact. I noticed that women hardly get their fellow women's contacts. But it's easy for a man to ask for a woman's contact and you quickly give it to them. But you never think in your mind that, this is a fellow woman, I should give her my contact. Everywhere I go, I am proud to say, this is who I am. This is what I can do. This is what I can do. This is what I can do. And what can you do? I share my contacts. I get their phone numbers from them. That is already a contact. But in your network, you have a lot of people's phone numbers. You have a lot of people. If you start praying from today and say, God, I want my network to be rich and valuable. Am I still here? Because I can see that.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
So if you don't start saying to God that I want a rich does not mean in money, but rich in value. A rich and a healthy network. The network has to be healthy. It has to be nutritious. It has to have, mix of people, because you're going to be needing them one time or the other. But you can start now. You don't have them. Look, I didn't have them before, but I started sometime until I made up my mind I need to start talking to people. Now, talking to people is not because you want to make friends with them. Having a network is not those people in your network are your friends. That they are the ones you call when you have wedding anniversary or your son or your child has a birthday or you want to celebrate. No, These are your network. They can be acquaintance, they can be business partners, they can be people you collaborate with. You need to have them. You need to start creating them. You need to start building them. Not just curating, you need to start building them. And as you're building them, but it has to be done with a conscious effort. You have to do it consciously, knowing that you are building a reach and a health, not all those networks that you have and then they are telling you story, or network of men that will be calling you at 12 midnight or sending you chats that are not that don't speak the goodness of God, or discussing things that don't add value to your life or in any way. I'm not talking of that network. I'm talking of people that matter. I'm not necessarily talking about the money. Yes, the money, they are part of it. So we can start now, a conscious effort, and you have to be consistent about it. Don't go to a gathering. Don't go somewhere. Don't be somewhere without, you go to some webinars and they call it a business meeting and people are introducing themselves. And you are not scrolling through the webinar to see, okay, this person says, I'm this, I'm a HR person, or this person will say, I'm a doctor, or I'm a pharmacist, and I'm a this, I run a delivery company. And you don't think quickly, I quickly need to connect with this person. I quickly need to connect with. That is how you have to make it a conscious effort.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mrs. Akintaye. This is explosive. This session is expository. It's so inspiring. We have so many calls to action. Thank you so much. If you have been blessed with all that Mrs. Akintaye has shared with us, I'd like you to put it in the chat room. Let her read how you are feeling, what you have learned. Let us celebrate her. We thank you so much. We appreciate your graciousness. Thank you, Ma. At this point, I'd like to bring on the convener of Business Summit in the person of Pastor Mayokun Oriofe. Celebrate you, Ma. Thank you so much.
Thank
and God
you. I bless God. I bless God. I bless God. Thank you for the opportunity. I bless God.
Mrs. Akintaye, thank you so very much. We thank you, and we can't even thank you enough. This is what I call the bomb. This is really the bomb. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The Lord Almighty will bless you. Within this short time, you've given so much, and I need you to know that some of us were chatting behind, and we're going to have you back. We're bringing you back big time, light time, as in we need to squeeze more out of you. You've got so much. My people, I'm sure you were blessed. You were blessed. Please get into the chat room and let me say
thank you, everyone. I can see the chat.
There are people on Facebook watching as well, and I know they're celebrating you. You are just a bomb. Womanhood is proud of you. Well done. Thank you for doing God proud this afternoon. We're so grateful. God bless you.
Amen. Amen.
No further review can be done. In fact, I need to tell you that we have a session tomorrow on agriculture. And you know what? We've already done that session for us here. You've done the session.
I don't think so. I don't think I've done it.
You really have. I'm telling you, you have. We really celebrate you. Thank you. Okay, so we're rounding up now, and I just want to make this announcement. Ms. Akintaye has been magnanimous enough as to agree to give us her slides, so I want you all to celebrate her one more time.
I will.
Go ahead and celebrate her. She said she will be giving us her slides. So if you would want the slides, you need to, we're going to be posting now in the chat room and in the comment section on Facebook, in the chat room on Zoom. We're going to be pasting a link for you to get on the Business Summit multiple stream session Telegram account. You need to get on that space. When you are there, I mean, sometime later today, the slides will be uploaded, in that space for you to be able to avail, so that you can still use it.
Let me ask. Okay, I'm actually
sending. You need to click on that. Okay, to her now. Thank you so much. You need to click on the link once you see it in the chat room, so that you can have it. Tomorrow we are continuing by the grace of God, and our FRINGE session on Agri will be holding 10 a.m. to 12 noon tomorrow. I'm aware that some people were here, they zoomed in today by 10 a.m. thinking that this session is holding 10 a.m. Because this is the only session we have for today, we decided to have a 12 noon. And so tomorrow is going to be 10 a.m. to 12. That's the first spring session. And that is the session for agriculture. And then the other session, which is going to take care of the makeup artists and those in the cosmetic sector, we're going to have another session by 2. It will run from 2 to 4. So please join us. Spread the news. If today has been a blessing to you, please go ahead and spread the news. On that note, I'll also want to invite you to the next plenary session, which will be holding on Tuesday, by the grace of God. Tuesday next week, Tuesday the 9th of June, 9 a.m. We're going to be live again to take the second session of our plenary session. Between now and tomorrow, the Lord preserve you. Between now and next week, the Lord watch over you. No evil befalls any one of us. So grateful for everyone who has logged in today, who has joined us, whether on Facebook or on this Zoom space. We are grateful. God bless everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you again, Mr. Akitaye, and thank you to my team, the working team behind. God bless you in Jesus' name. Thank you, ladies.